Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everyone? I hope you're all doing well and had a great weekend as usual. Of course, Merry Christmas once again. I hope that everyone spent it with the family and had a great time. As usual, I'll be waiting just a couple of seconds for people to join in the live chat. Can see a lot of people right now, so just a confirmation that everything is good before we dive into everything. Mm, 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 mm. So if you don't have anyone, I'll just dive into everything. I mean, straight into everything. I don't think it's a big problem. We'll do everything as always. Hmm. Seeing more people join in now. So hello everyone. Hello Nunal. Okay, it's great to see you here. Hope you had a great weekend and a fantastic Christmas. So with that said, sound is okay. Thank you for the confirmation. So with that said, we can now dive into everything. As usual, we do the announcements very quickly. Just takes a couple of seconds. Then we dive into the weekly recap, which will also be very quick because, well, this week we really haven't done a lot. And then, of course, we'll dive into the best setups for this week. So for the announcements, as most of you know, if you want to trade with a 30% fee discount on Bitunix, if this can load, okay, finally. If you want to trade with a 30% fee discount on Bitunix, you can sign up with our referral link, which will be available in the description of this live stream. Okay, this is a lifetime deal. No catch, no nothing, and it's the exchange that I personally use to trade. And then of course, if you want to get access to our indicator, which of course can give you very nice signals on entry triggers, but also can give you very good levels, as it did at $90,200. The link will also be in the description down below. And with that said, hello, is that Renier? Am I reading that right? I think that's your name for me, Renier. So it's nice to see you. I meant hello. It's fine. So for the weekly recap, sorry, man, that has been a very clumsy intro. So for the weekly recap, again, we didn't do much this week. That was on Monday. You can see this week was pretty inactive. I didn't really send a lot of messages. But on Monday, of course, I was still waiting for that move up into $92,000 to find a Tuesday high. But then we saw 4-hour imbalances right there on Binance against $90,200 once again. And we had taken out this very ugly high, which I talked about multiple times. So I saw this rejection, and at this point, ideally, I wanted to see a drop back below the Monday low, which was also the weekly low at $87,800 on Tuesday morning, to then potentially see a reversal to the upside. So after this update, what did I do? I simply waited for a retracement to the upside, which was this one. I opened a long down there, closed it on this candle, flip short as well. We got the reversal to the downside, and I implemented a take profit one, as you can see right there on the chart. Very good trade. And yeah, that was mainly a TP1 on the short. And then after this, the plan hadn't really changed. I wanted to see the sweep into Tuesday morning. We got the sweep, we got the imbalance. I took my long position, but this one turned into a loss. And after this, that was my week. I didn't do anything after this. And yeah, so with that said, we can go back to the charts. A pretty nice short position on Monday, which I am still in. I implemented a take profit one down there at $88,000 as I just showed you. So take profit one on the short. I am still in that short position. Also opened a long position on this sweep, which turned into a small loss. And that was it. So what can we look for this week? Well, overall, my view hasn't really changed. Okay, so is it still on my chart? Friday's prediction. Again, this is not freaking loading. Okay, so that's not on my chart. We have the yearly close on Thursday, in just 4 days. Pretty close. This year has gone by pretty fast, I have to admit. But we do have the new yearly open on Thursday, right there in 4 days. And right now, again, we talked about this on Friday, but I just want to mention it again. This will be the first time in history, if we close below $94,000, this will be the first time in history that during the bull market, we only had two bullish candles. As you can see there, we had four, three, three, but right now we only have two. So that's why, just to play a bit with the psychology of traders, ideally, personally, what I would like to see is this here close red. Now we only have 4 days, and in 4 days, will Bitcoin get back above $94,000? I mean, it's possible, but it is a bit unlikely in my opinion. So that's why tomorrow I would like to see a drop to the downside. Now, with that said, I do want to outline one more level that I did not outline during the Friday's update. That would be, if you go over to Binance, we have an imbalance. We don't, but we do have a 1 hour imbalance, right? Yeah, so we have an imbalance there, 1 hour imbalance, not the strongest one, 1 hour imbalance there. And we have an order block. So, I mean, this is not the strongest level, but I just want to be aware of it. I will mention why. I will talk about it just in a bit, but I just want to add this level around $85,400, let's call it. This would be my first support to the downside. Now we still have this ugly low, which is why I'm not the biggest fan of this support level, but once again, I do want to mention the logic behind it. So ideally, if we can drop into tomorrow, that would be, I mean, personally what I'm looking for tomorrow, it would be a Monday drop with this being the first target. Of course, if it offers a reaction, we can open a long position. If no reaction, or for example, if it gets reached too early, so on Monday morning, for example, I will not be looking for a long position. Now, the reason for that is just because of this sideways price action, people have been shorting every single job. And see on Binance, what happened on Friday was a bit crazy. We literally had this massive bearish candle, which was not an imbalance, as you can see, but right below it, so the candle that came after it, was a much smaller candle, but this one was an imbalance. So when I see this behavior, I mean, this has been going on for the entire week. We had a drop, an imbalance at the low, a bounce, another imbalance at the low, a bounce, two imbalances on this low, a bounce, an imbalance on that drop, a bounce, and yet another imbalance on this drop, and yet another bounce to the upside. So the behavior right now this also applies on the pumps, okay, but much more on the drops right now. As you can see on every single breakdown that we got, we had an hourly imbalance. So right now, just because of this fact, so people are chasing the shorts, this is just apparent by looking at the charts, at the volume. I do want to be aware of a first support level above this ugly low, because I'm pretty sure that if we get this drop because of the behavior that we have been seeing this week, we will probably get a lot of shorts. Okay. Now this doesn't mean that we have to bounce. It's not because people are opening shorts that we have to bounce straight away. It's just, once again, a level of caution that I want to be aware of. So I hope I haven't talked too much. Should be fairly simple. I would like to see a drop into tomorrow, into this level, and this will be very reaction dependent. If we get a reaction, for example, late into tomorrow, then we can look for that reversal to the upside. Not my favorite scenario at all, but still you have to be aware of it. But for myself, what I would like to see, if people can freaking stop chasing the shorts on the drops, what I would like to see is this. So maybe bounce a bit and then continue lower on Tuesday. And then potentially close the year down there, for example. And then potentially I'm looking at the Friday low. It's a bit far in time to talk about Friday, I know, but I'm thinking about the Friday low. It doesn't matter if we take out that low or not. My main target will be $83,700. Okay, so if we get this drop, I will be looking at a Friday low. And yeah, let me just add it on my chart. Let's put it late Friday. Something like this. So that would be Monday, Tuesday, Monday, bit of a bounce, continue to the downside, and then potentially we find a low on Friday. Okay, so ideally this would be my plan. So let's put this as the main Sunday plan. Main Sunday plan. Okay, what is this one? Okay, we're going to remove this, and yeah, that would be it. Okay, would be a job. This support could offer a small bounce, so just be aware of the reactions. But personally, I am much more interested in the longs below $83,700. Now, the second plan, of course, in case we pump to the upside, you still need to have a plan in mind. The second plan will be behind this. The second plan would be that we pump to the upside and then hit $92,000. That would probably be on Tuesday simply because this level is so far away. So probably a Tuesday high and then a reversal to the downside. Personally, I don't like this one just because of the timing. I would like to see a drop as soon as possible. This will offer the most bullish reactions in my opinion, just because we have all of this liquidity to take out. This one, I think this one is still not the best double top, even though I shorted it. But then we still have all of this liquidity that personally I would like to see taken out. So if we can drop first, of course, this should be my favorite scenario. But just in case we move up, again, let's put back the timing. I would be looking at the Tuesday high. So this should be right. Let's put it Tuesday around this. Okay. That would be the second scenario. A pump into Tuesday, and then a reversal to the downside. I'm not the biggest fan of this one. I just explained why, but let's put it secondary Sunday plan. That would be a secondary, should be below the main one, and that would be it for Bitcoin. That would be my bad. So the main plan would be to drop, potentially offer a bit of a bounce on this level, or a bigger one, of course, if we see a lot of shorts opening, as we saw on Friday, for example, and throughout this entire week. But ultimately, come back down, break these freaking lows, and then I will look for the long position for a move back up into $94,000, into $96,000 to $97,000. Now, for a higher time frame view, if anyone is interested about the higher time frame view, I can tell you two things pretty confidently. The first one is that the low is not in. Okay, let's go back on the daily. The low, in my opinion, is just not in. That's the first thing I can say for the higher time frames. And the second one is that I am very confident that we will come back above these highs. So that's why, again, when you pair these two things, if we can drop, I will be looking for very confident longs because I am very confident that we will break these highs. But then, even if we put in a new low, by the way, my view will not change. Let me move this. So even if we put in a new low before pumping, I would still be looking for that reversal to the downside because, in my opinion, in 2026 we will see a continuation to the downside on Bitcoin. We will break back below $74,000 and potentially head into, let's call it, first target would be around $60,000. Of course, when we get the break, if we get it, then we can talk more about these targets to the downside. Okay, but this would be like these would be my two main views, if that's even how you word it, for the high time frames. The lows are not in. We will head much lower into 2026, but also we will first break above these highs, so above $94,000, before continuing to the downside. Okay, so that's it for Bitcoin. We can move on to other assets. We can put the main Sunday plan back on the chart. That's what I would be looking for. Now moving on to Ethereum. What was the plan? So Ethereum didn't do much. I was looking for that resistance above, but we got the pump, didn't reach it, and then we got the reversal to the downside. And yeah, I guess on Ethereum, I can keep this one because I would expect the support below to get tapped. Just because it has been my big support for this entire job. You can see it got front on by just a couple of dollars on this first job. Let's see at the let's look at the daily, sorry. Do have a daily imbalance down there, but no weekly imbalance. Okay. Yeah, to the upside, this would still, this one has already been tapped. Yeah, we did outline this one before. Yeah, Ethereum will be a bit more complicated just because the major resistance has been tapped at 3,400. We did give this one in advance. But yeah, on Ethereum, I guess my view would be that we just drop into the support below. So I'm not gonna touch this plan. This remains the resistance if we can reach it, which is unlikely at this point. But then, of course, if we get the drop, I would mainly be focused on the support below this low on the 21st of November. So yeah, not much to say on Ethereum. I think overall, of course, if Bitcoin does drop into the 60s, Ethereum, I mean, we'll see much lower prices on Ethereum. But for now, just focus on this support right there. Solana, hello, mate. Great to see you. Hello, Emperor. It's nice to see you. Merry Christmas, of course. Can you update Solana, please? Of course, we can update Solana. So for the higher time frame view on Solana, remember we had this resistance above, which offered a massive rejection. We had this very big support, which I did not want to see lost, sorry. And I did say at the time that if we lose the support, then probably we take out this low. And if we take out this low, then it's pretty much over for Solana, okay? So is it over for Solana? Yes. I mean, not over in the sense that it's completely done, but I think overall, I would expect much lower prices. And I did talk about this before, a break back below this low that we put in on April at 97, 96, $96, for example. Sorry. And we did call this one as well. If you go back to our stream, we did have, this was the only support that we gave on Solana. Offered the bounce, we gave the second support. Offered the bounce, we gave that resistance. So my view hasn't changed a lot on Solana. If we can get the pump, which I think we will get, I did talk about this before. I do believe that we will pump into on Solana towards this resistance around 155. And if we get that pump, probably look for the shorts for that reversal much lower. I mean, for the targets below, it's just gonna be hard because it has been going sideways for a long time. What would be your support below? I mean, we did have a monthly order block as well. I don't even remember seeing this one. And I don't know, Solana is not gonna look good if we do break back below 97. It's not gonna look good, that's all I can say. So yeah, my higher time frame view on Solana is that we will continue to drop below this low. Potentially, let me look at these lows actually. I did see something right there. Wow, these are ugly lows. Okay. Wickless double bottom, two wickless double bottom. You don't see that very often. So I think Solana, if you're interested about this target, not too sure if you care about such prices, but I think potentially up, down, and then back to $50. That would be my my higher time frame view on Solana, I guess. Let's say, could we call this bear market target? All right, bear market target, $50. That would be my higher time frame view. For the lower time frames, I did say this before, I will say it again. It will be hard to catch the long inside of this area just because you don't have a lot of support right here. The last big support that you had, in my opinion, was this one that we outlined. Below this, you just don't have a lot of support on Solana, so that's why looking for the longs is just not the smartest idea in my opinion. To the upside, you have that resistance, once again around 155. To the downside, I guess my target for this bear market will be $50 on Solana. I'm gonna keep this on my chart. If I'm wrong about it, I'm wrong, but I don't know. I just don't see any support on Solana. I have to be honest. So I don't see why it would bounce from here. It's not looking good, man. It's not looking good. I think $20 Solana possible. I mean, anything is possible, especially if Bitcoin does drop into $60,000. Where will Solana go? Probably 50. Look, potentially 20. This is too far away. I mean, not too far away, but it's just. Well, I just have this first target at 50, and then if we reach it, we can update our view. But yeah, that would be it for Solana. And see, we had this resistance, which was not reached, but not a big problem. How much was that bounce? 22%. That was a big bounce. And yeah, of course, if you shorted our resistance, well, that was a massive rejection. 55%. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, just expecting lower on Solana. So yeah, you're a godsend for struggling newbies like me. Thank you for the kind words. I do appreciate it. I mean, I just try my best to keep the charts as simple as possible. So if it does help people, of course, I couldn't be happier about this because I mean, that is my goal with this channel. It's just to make the charts as simple as possible, not overcomplicate things, and also be one of the best analysts, if not the best analyst in the entire social media sphere. So I mean, again, I hate bringing up past trades, but we called this high. This one got front on, but I mean, we called it by $200. We called this high at 107. We called this high at 105. We called this low. We called this high, and these two highs. So that's all I'm gonna say. Not gonna say much more than that. And as you can see, well, now I do have a bit more levels on my chart than I usually do, but you guys know that usually I keep my charts pretty clean and I don't have a lot of levels on my chart. So when I say that I called the move, I didn't give you 10 resistance levels. I mainly give you one resistance level or support level, of course. Now we can move on to gold and silver because I'm pretty sure that people will be interested in this. Gold is moving higher. Silver is of course exploding higher. If you remember in the past, we did talk about silver when it was still, I guess, around $35 maybe. We talked about this and we did mention this Elliott wave count in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this move is not like it's not surprising in my opinion. It was pretty predictable. And I did tell you guys that owning silver, in my opinion, would be a bit better than gold because silver, if we break above this high, which was put in 14 years ago, we would get a very big move to the upside. Now for myself, I did sell 50% on this first all-time high, but I don't care. I still hold some silver, and well, it's moving much higher right now. So for silver, I mean, it's still this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My view hasn't really changed. It still looks very clean. This is clearly a wave 3 because it is very impulsive. So it is very, uh, is very likely for a wave 3 to be this impulsive. So this does make a lot of sense. It's just about where will silver top out. This is a bit harder to predict, but in my opinion, expect silver to top out and gold to top out when Bitcoin finds a bottom. I know it's a bit crazy to say for some people, but in my opinion, this is how it will work. When Bitcoin bottoms, we will start to see a top on gold and silver. But yeah, can we find a target? I don't know. What about the 1.618? Where would that be on the log scale? Oh, that is on the log scale. 78 was the first target. That is being smashed through right now. But that would definitely be a first target on silver. Now for a second target would be my favorite flip pocket, but I mean I think this one would come in much higher. I think I would take this as the range low. Can we find something interesting? On log scale? Oof, where is that? 114. Can silver reach above $100? I mean, all I'm gonna say is that this will be an important fib pocket to keep in mind. If again, if anyone is interested in silver, the best crypto analyst by far. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I really do appreciate the kind words. Hello, Sensei. Hello, Alec. Do you have a Discord? Yes, we have a Discord. It should be in the description. No? Yeah, it is in the description at the bottom right. Yes, it is in the description, my friend, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I'm seeing it in front of me. It's just, I hope that the link is working if you click on it. So yeah, we do have a Discord. And it's free, by the way. Of course, it's free if you want to join it. Okay, so silver, I guess we could look for a move into 2026. So somewhere around summer, maybe. I think that would be a nice time target around summer. Let me look at something, guys. I'm just if you guys have any questions about crypto, by the way, send them in the live chat. Can you update Sol? Okay, we did. Thank you so much. BTC, sincerely. Okay, so I didn't miss any question, right? So if you guys have any more questions, of course, send them in the live chat. Just gonna have fun a bit analyzing silver. Let me look at gold. I think this one will be a bit easier since I have my count. So 1, 2, 3. How did I count this? Now it's gonna be hard to find a Fibonacci time target. That's what I'm trying to find, a fib time. The impulses haven't been the cleanest ones. I think we could take this one maybe. 1, 2. From here to here. I think that looks nice. To here. Do we have any Fibonacci time? So that's too far. Come on. Okay, so in August 2026, that would make more sense. Not a big fan of fib times, but would be funny if this one hits, to have to admit. I mean, yeah, I think this target would make sense for silver just above $100. I think if we get this, euphoria will be going through the roof. And of course, you want people buying silver if you are trying to sell silver. Because if no one wants to buy when you want to sell, well, guess what? You're not going to be able to sell. So that would be your target on silver. Please, if you reach it, no one buy silver. If you hold silver, probably sell silver, which is what I will be doing. So yeah, that would be my target. Let's put it 108 to 1. Now, I'm not a silver analyst, guys, okay? So just take this with a grain of salt. I'm more of a Bitcoin analyst, but we did talk about this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did tell you that silver would see a massive move to the upside, so we have been fairly accurate on silver, even though I do believe that these moves were not too hard to predict, just because overall, even though silver is slow, overall it will go up like over time. So it was not a hard move to predict. It was just about getting a good entry and being patient. So I'm not gonna take credit for this. It was really a simple call. But yeah, I think for silver I'm gonna leave it there. Flip time I'm gonna hide it because it's just, and I think that would look good. That will be a big Fibonacci pocket. That's one thing that I can say. Okay, for gold, I guess it would be around the same timeline. And yeah, it is moving much higher. So let's put this 5 in June. That's where I'm gonna put it. And yeah, not too much to say about gold. It's just freaking moving up and up and up non-stop. So yeah, stock market. I do want to look at the stock market. I have not checked it for a while. Are we moving into my target? We are getting close to 7,000. Now this will be an interesting area to monitor, okay? So just above $7,000, this has been the area that I have had for a while on my chart, as you guys know. So just track this area above, just above $7,000. Yeah, not much else to say on the stock market. So Pippin, we can check Pippin, and if we don't have any more questions, then I think we'll end it here. Pippin. What the frick is Pippin, dude? Is that it, Pippin? Pippin. I probably have to check Binance. Why is it like this? Is this the coin that you're asking me about, Alec? I guess this is Alec, right? Because you're calling me Sensei. Brother, you have to stop with this. Kind of crazy that we don't have any daily imbalance. What? Like, this is a massive candle and we don't have an imbalance? That is kind of crazy. That is indeed kind of crazy. Is it this one, Alec? Yeah. I mean, this wick is so big, but can you trust it on a shitcoin, I guess? I mean, I don't see much on this. What do you want me to analyze? Like, what is this? Do you really want me to analyze this? I mean, just let me look at something just to see how funny that would be. Okay. Guys, if you ever doubt imbalances, that's all I'm gonna say. Two 12-hour imbalances, you come down, you fill the second imbalance to the freaking cent. And yeah, from there it has been a non-stop bump to the upside. So that's all I'm gonna say about imbalances. Look, I mean the proof is in the pudding right there. That was kind of crazy. That was kind of crazy. But as well, opening along after such a big drop, you would have to be crazy as well. So yeah, I mean, there's not. Where will it dip to? Oof, where will it dip to? Well, I mean, with this kind of movement, it will dip back to $0, brother. But the thing is that where does it stop? This doesn't look like a good coin. With this big wick, I'm guessing that this wick will get revisited. If it trades like a good asset, I would like this wick to get revisited at least towards the midpoint, which would be around this. Okay, just visually looking at it. Uh, we can look at this range. We have a 12-hour imbalance with the point of control, so that would be a good level. Right now, it is at the value area high with 4-hour imbalance. Sorry, this is not a 12-hour imbalance, a 4-hour imbalance. I mean, this would definitely be a good level. You have the point of control, you have the imbalance. Let's look at the daily. Do we have a daily open? We don't. But I mean, we do have this wick, which I'm not a fan of. 12-hour, we still have that wick. I mean, it's not a bad wick on the 12-hour. And this one was very ugly, but we did recover it. I mean, look, it's a hard coin to analyze, so again, take this analysis with a grain of salt. But I guess if you want to look for something on this coin, this will be the best thing that I can come up with. Again, I don't know how confident I would be in this analysis, just because of course the worse the coin is, fundamentally speaking, and just volume wise, you can see that this is not a very efficient market. The less accurate the analysis will be. This is just something you have to keep in mind, but that's the best thing that I can come up with. Okay, you have this very ugly wake to the upside, which I am expecting to get revisited. Hopefully you can jump into this level around 0.33 and then reverse to the upside. But I don't have a lot of confidence. I just have a 4-hour imbalance. However, we do also have a pretty important point of control. So yeah, that is the best thing that I can come up with. But again, I'm not super confident in this one just because it's just not a good coin to trade in my opinion. Not a good coin to trade. Hmm. 12 hour. I mean, we are on this imbalance where we also had the value area high. And see, it is offering support with this. I guess that would be your area down to this low, which has been taken out. Okay. I don't know, man. I guess that would be a first support just because we have an imbalance on the 12 hour and we have the volume on the 4 hour. If I zoom in, we have two 4 hour imbalances, so the volume is coming in on this job, so we could definitely bounce from here. It's just about the risk, you know. Do you want to take too long positions on such a bad coin? Because your risk to the downside would be 6%, which is quite big. So do you want to look for this long position? I'm not a fan of it, I have to be honest, just because 6% is too much for me. I trade with high leverage, but that would be your long position, which is a 7-1. But it's not just because you have a 7-1 that it's a good trade. You have to look at the probability of it playing out. Is it probable that it plays out? I don't think so. I think the 7 is better. So that's what I'm going to give you. Okay? I don't know. That's the best that I can give you. Just be aware of this level, which but it's not a good one. Okay, it's not a good level in my opinion. We just don't have enough. I mean, we have enough actually, but it's just I don't like it. Okay, so I guess that would be it for this live stream, guys. We doesn't seem like we have any more questions. So with that said, a quick recap on Bitcoin. Ideally, we see a drop going into tomorrow. We have a first support around $85,400. However, ideally, we see a further drop going into the weekly close, going into going into Friday. We find a low on Friday, and then we see a reversal to the upside. This would be my ideal scenario. The second one, which I would not like to see, would be that we pump tomorrow, take out this high, we potentially find a high on Tuesday, and then see a reversal to the downside. Now, of course, if we don't have a reaction up there, so if we do pump and we don't have a reaction, then just expect higher prices. I mean, fairly straightforward. But once again, ideally, my favorite plan, the one that I want to be looking for and trading, will be this one, a drop into the yearly close. Below these lows, we look for the long positions and we take them back up above $94,000. For Ethereum, not much has changed, okay? We still have this very big support below that you have to be aware of. As you can see, even though it was front run on this low, it was still very close and did offer a massive bounce to the upside. We did give this resistance in advance, which got tapped to the dollar, offered a big rejection. And right now on Ethereum, we have this resistance above and this support below. And that is all I have to say for today. So once again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for leaving live chat, for asking questions, just for being here overall. I do really appreciate it. If you could, of course, as always, leave a like on the stream because most everything that we do is for free basically, except my indicator, of course. But if you want to follow our trades, everything is for free. So with that said, once again, if you could leave a like on the live stream, that would be massively appreciated. And once again, before I go, Merry Christmas, everyone. I do hope that you all spend it with your family. Remember what this holiday is about. It is and was about celebrating the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. The only reason that I'm here, and I do believe that I am pretty good at doing technical analysis, is simply because of the Holy Spirit. So if you don't believe it, it is what it is, but I'm telling you, this is why. In any case, once again, thank you everyone. I wish you an amazing rest of your evening, of the weekend. And with that said, I will see you all tomorrow morning inside the Discord. So goodbye everyone and see you